we're now
How do I do
streaming
that?
live. Oh, you stopped sharing video.
Well, I'm just trying to show the other camera. Okay, damn it. Back camera, share video. How about that?
Yes.
Okay, you
Oh,
see Betty Boop?
yeah, Betty
All right,
Boop.
cool.
Try to
Yeah,
keep it
that was
stable.
most. Yeah, so most of the shit is closed, but this is funny because it's the America Village in Okinawa. See, like there's a fire department written in English. It's got like big red fire trucks and stuff, which they see there's Japanese people taking the pictures of it. They
No,
think that's funny.
we can't see it.
That's like the movie.
Wait,
You can't.
yeah,
Fuck.
well, the quality is dog shit. It's like the worst pixelated.
All right,
It's like you're trying to censor Okinawa.
I'm walking toward the fucking thing. Do you see fire truck yet
Uh,
on a wall?
I see something red. Oh, there, yeah, kind of.
Well, maybe this won't work. I'll just take a normal video of it later. It is what it is. It
Yeah,
looks clear on my end,
yeah. Well,
but
of course, you don't have to go through the internet to see it.
damn it, it's fucking great too.
Yeah. Oh, Odyssey just gave out the notification that we are streaming. Uh,
Oh, interesting. That's great.
yeah.
Well, should I kill the camera? I mean, that kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of useless to be honest. Like it's
Okay.
better that you just take video and then show it later. To be honest. But let's switch the scene.
Yeah, if I took video, it'll kill Telegram because I can't get that to play in the background. Oh
Well,
wait, yeah, it did.
well, there
We
is
switched it, right?
uh, what?
Yeah,
There is a
it will play in
setting
the background.
in Telegram that I've discovered.
Okay.
Uh, uh,
Anyway, it won't matter. It won't let me do video during calls, so that sucks. Tomorrow night, I'll film the shit in a walk and talk and then upload it to the secret YouTube. Anyway, the streets are perfectly clean. It looks like Las Vegas slash Christmas. There's neon lights everywhere. Um, it looks like America 25 years ago, before all the homeless and drug addicts and litter was everywhere. Like if you went to Orlando in the 80s or something, or Las Vegas, maybe in the 50s, before all the fucking dirt bags took over, that's what it's like. It's a playground. We've got all these restaurants and fun things to do, and it's spotless because it's full of Asians. But they've got things written in English, and everybody here speaks English, which is blowing my mind because I've been in Japan for like 12 or 13 years, and meet like 3 people ever that can speak English. You come to Okinawa, it's like every fucking person here can speak some degree of English. It's like it's more American than Washington D.C. was in my memory of going places in the U.S. Because that, like, since I've been in Japan and gone back to America, it's not America anymore. Apparently, a lot of European capitals are the same way. It's just fucking filthy, full of overweight behemoths and degenerates and homelessness and fentanyl and meth heads and even when I was in Waikiki in Hawaii, it was like going to the beach was useless because all the gazebos and stuff were taken up by homeless that you could smell from 50 meters away. It smelled like shit. And they're just out there with like shopping carts and crap. They've taken over. It's like, wow, people paid all this money to stay at a hotel or whatever, and these bums are just hanging out. They've ruined it. It's weird.
all right. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's you're leaving the troglodyte heaven of obese fat
Yeah, I
people.
know. Like, it's like all the good and none of the bad. Like, people here are still, there's a lot of tourists here from or I guess like people's families from the American bases or whatever. So they're here. So you do see a lot of people, but they've kind of like they also have to live in Japan, sorta, even if they're on a base. And so I feel like they've had some parenting, like they went and did their dumb shit and got in trouble, and so they don't act like that anymore. They've domesticated. They're domesticated Americans. You know what I mean? It's like they're here, but they've given the rule book before they stepped off the boat. Like, don't do this, don't do that. So the volume's turned down. They don't talk like they're screaming across the room. Yeah, they're not 400 pounds. That's a plus. I think also there are people in the military a lot here from like 19 to 20. But yeah, anyway, it's a beautiful island. Very windy, rains every day. But I'm just shocked that people speak English. Like it's blowing my mind.
Well, isn't Okinawa the island in the world with the heaviest or like the most amount of military bases per square mile, and they're all American?
It's gotta be. Well, Guam probably is, and then Okinawa, because
Yeah.
Guam's so small.
So
It
a
has two
large
bases, but
portion
yeah,
of the economy is centered around American service members. Uh,
not really.
well, okay.
I mean, there's a big base, but they stay on base, like doing military shit. But when they can leave, they do. And they've built a little American town with American food and all English speaking Japanese people. Like a little fucking Las Vegas for English speakers. It's weird. Um, I don't even feel like I'm in Japan. Like I feel like this is my trip to America, not DC. Because when I went to Washington, there were people from Washington who couldn't speak English. They sound like, "Ooh, ah, 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 that's how they talk. And I'm like, wow, I didn't get a word of that. They can't even say the word I. They just say ah. Like I is too long.
Yeah, when I was
It's like
when I was in Louisiana, it took me like a month to start understanding the black people because like there's black people and then there's deep south black people and their accent is thick.
this is not an accent though in DC. This is just I don't want to bother learning English. They're so lazy that the hood rat crap fed to them from MTV has taken on its own. They call it ebonics or whatever, and it's not blacks. It's all of them. They all talk like that, black, white, whatever, and they're, they're fucking bums. They just live off fast food and if that and prowl around. There's tent cities. There's fucking tent cities of homeless people. Cities, not like 5 or 6 tents. I mean, like more than you can count. And then you go over another area, there's another big ass park full of tents where they're openly doing crack in the middle of the day and stuff, walking around like zombies. Check just one day, go to a video search site for like American cities, Zombieland, and you
Oh,
can see it. Philadelphia, DC, whatever.
yeah, I've seen
It
those.
looks like the zombie apocalypse. It looks like a movie, but it's not a movie. That's just every day. The streets are just trashed. There's tents. There's fucking people on who knows what, barely alive, just walking around like the Walking Dead or something. Uh, and people just go, well, it's okay. You just avoid those areas. And I can't believe people think like that. Like, oh, how many streets do they have to take? You just move out of the move and move, and how long is that flight going to last? Right? You're just giving up parts of your country to drugs. Fucking liberals.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
Well, I have to.
Anyway, we don't have any of that.
Well,
I've
yeah.
never seen a
Well,
homeless person here.
yeah. Well, to comment on the retardation of Western man, my thumbnail has a spelling error in it. It says live from Okinawa. I put the I.
Okinawa.
Yeah. Well, I put double in because
whatever, you're Norwegian speaking English trying to write Romanji Japanese.
Yeah.
I'll forgive it.
Well, the funny thing is,
You know what I mean?
the title had the correct spelling, but my thumbnail did not. Uh,
Oh,
so,
whatever.
yeah.
Okinawa. Little world map there.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the ground I was walking on is a giant map. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that's funny. The only two cities they name, well, they name Okinawa and Tokyo. It's another good thing is they just say Korea. There's no north and south. It's an old map. It's old. This is on the ground like in concrete. It probably was Korea at the time.
Yeah, maps change all
It's
the
also
time.
funny because I see 88 everywhere because it's when it was founded and it's just a lucky number in Japan. So I'm just like, you'll
Yeah.
see something something 88. I feel like it's
Well,
simulation.
I assume the map isn't updated to include Nova Russia. Uh,
Oh, let's go see if it's USSR or Russia. I'll go look.
yeah.
I already walked by it. This is on the ground. It's just like on the boardwalk by the ocean. They have a big map on the ground for whatever reason. It looked like it was just Asia. I didn't go. Russia's got to be here. Let's see. Vladivostok, Beijing, China, Shanghai, Hong Kong. Thailand is as far north as it gets, and then it goes off the edge. So
Oh, okay. So it's an Asian-centric map.
that this
East
is
Asian.
just. I bet there is a Europe map somewhere else. Yeah, it only goes as far east as, let's see, Jakarta. Let's see. Oh, no, Australia's on here. It's just the southern part of the equator or something. I don't know. There's East Timor. Yeah, so there's Indonesia, Philippines, Cambodia, about only like the southern half of Thailand's on the map and the southern part of China. So it does have the name of a Russian city, so that could have been USSR or Russia. So
Is
you'll
it
never know.
Vladivostok?
Let's see.
I assume.
Yep,
Yeah.
Vladivostok and Khabarov, Khabarovsk, whatever that is. I've never heard of that actually. I've heard of Vladivostok, but not. Anyway, it's got two Russian cities. That's pretty neat. The next slab of concrete is like wood, a wooden deck, and a boat, and so they've gone over to some other map where it goes off the edge or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's gosh, like my 4 year old's running around, not even worried about it. Like the worst thing I worry about is he might slip on something and fall down.
Yeah,
It's
but
so safe here. It's like Disney. Well, Disney from 30 years ago. They're just happy and walking around, and maybe it's all these 88s. I don't know, but like, yeah, high trust society. Um, it's an American village of how America used to be. There's even little like Pokemon footprints on the ground, so you can go chasing them around. Uh, I
uh,
assume that probably coordinates with the Pokemon Go game. I don't know.
is there a lot of noise from the military base?
No, so the base is this isn't not anywhere near a base. It's
Oh,
just like a
okay.
place that they come on leave or whatever. And I guess it's just sort of international hub. Okinawa in Japan is kind of like uh, some of the Caribbean islands are. Like everybody goes there from everywhere on that side of the world. Jeju-do, Korea, and Okinawa, Japan are both kind of like the Japan's Hawaii or something,
Okay.
and Korea's Hawaii. Yeah, it's like that. This is like Hawaii without the drugs and the homelessness and the need to Uber everywhere. And you don't need a vaccine to come here.
I'd be I,
You
I
don't need a mask.
I'd be interested to see if homelessness is at all related to housing prices and the price of rent, because in Hawaii,
That's what you would assume,
yeah,
but it's not because they
yeah,
give them free houses. It's drugs. 100% it's drugs.
yeah,
It's drugs. You can like it, you're not gonna have a nice house, but what happens, it's what all of us did is, okay, a house costs too much, so 4 or 5 of us live in the same house and split rent. You know what I mean? That's what people do, which sucks. But like, damn, you know, to live outside is a choice.
yeah. Well,
If they had the money for rent, they wouldn't use it on that. They'd spend it on drugs.
yeah,
They're totally addicted.
well, in Norway,
That's that.
we put the drug addicts in dorms. Basically, we give them cheap, shitty housing, and then we have rules about what they're allowed to do in the dorm and whatnot, because we don't like seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, the U.S. was kind of like that in maybe the 80s, but the I'm telling you, the OxyContin wave followed by the fentanyl wave, it has destroyed. Well, liberals, man, and COVID too. Like they locked everything down,
Well,
so like people couldn't go to work, and
yeah,
that
but
destroys more than your income. If you just give someone money but no responsibility, a lot of them just were like, okay, I'm gonna buy drugs.
well, yeah, but
Like I got.
I've also heard something about Ronald Reagan shutting down the psychiatric hospitals. Like a lot of these people uh, belong in
They're
institutions.
mentally ill,
Yeah.
but they're not mentally ill because of like genetic reason. They're mentally ill because they're doing drugs.
Well, yes.
Here, I'm gonna stick my hand in this oni. It might make an oni type of noise. Yes, it did.
Yeah. That
I don't
was
know if
an
you can hear
Oni
that.
type of noise.
Yeah, it sounds like a tiger. There's a, I don't know how to describe it. Jesus Christ, I'm 10 to just walk off the elevator. I gotta walk the opposite direction. That's something you don't see in America. Dime pieces.
Uh, well, they're more like uh,
You'll see them in magazines and TV, but not in real life.
well, they're more like lard pieces in America. It's not really a dime piece anymore. It's more of like a
Right? Like a
humongous
ton.
blob.
Oh, well, what's worse is like I don't care. I really don't care how big somebody is or not. Just you don't get to dress like a hooker if you're a 180-pound woman. It's like know your role. That's not a right, it's a privilege. Now, if you're thin and good looking and you want to wear the thigh-high boots and the skirt, like I don't have a problem with the clothing itself. There's a kind of a match, it's got a match, and it doesn't. It's repulsive when somebody grotesque dresses like that. You just wear a dress all the way down to your ankles, whatever. Fucking know your fucking role. Ha.
Yeah. Is it nice
You
to?
can rent bikes here. It's so nice here.
Yeah, it's like a small break from average, like a normal life, right? And the holiday you did have was kind of cramped and packed, and in Ogre Stand. So
But what? I mean, all I did was work.
yeah,
Like, I had to fly and deal with COVID tests and shit, and then Reed stayed with me at a hotel. Like, we split that, and then it was, we had an all-day event at Grant Smith thing. We had, I had my film screening, which ends up being eats up the whole day and shit. And then I had to go to the airport and get COVID tests, 3 different places. Still got it wrong. You know what happens in San Francisco. Blah blah blah. And there was a gala on a different night. So we just had sort of daytime before the gala where a bunch of supporters came and got drunk in my room and partied. And I went to the gala at like 6 or whatever and did all that. Then we had a guy go to the hospital, whatever. no sleep, no nothing. Uh, and it's DC. It's cold, it's gross, it's disgusting, and I got nothing to do. I'm like, what am I? I'm married, so I'm not into nightlife or anything. Um, the only good thing about the U.S. is of the few stores that were open had really large and delicious food. That's it.
Oh yes, I love the American portions. They
Oh yeah,
they are substantial
I
and adequate.
I got some bacon and it's like a fucking a bowl of bacon. I was like, yeah, that I'm down with, but probably some probably some connection there with portion size and people size.
Yes.
But I
Oh,
like it.
but
Here's
I don't.
Steakhouse 88.
Well, I don't know. If I lived in America, I would not practice this 3 meals per day thing because, like,
No,
because the
or like
portions are
one
too
big one a
big.
day.
You can cut it down to
But
two or one.
yeah, it's actually good to have one giant meal a day and fast the rest of the day and night. This is good for you to not eat for as long as possible. Whatever. There's like a giant shark on the wall. This is sort of like the cashiness of Las Vegas, um, with a kind of Hawaii, Florida feel with the, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this place. That's why I was trying to do video. Oh well. We got to talk about the recent black on black crime.
Oh,
Yeah, Will Smith punched Chris Rock in the face or
oh,
slapped him.
oh. I- Okay, so I sincerely do not give a shit about this.
It's hilarious
But it's just fucking
because he's like a
celebrity
50-year-old
drama.
guy. I know, but this isn't like a teenager. This is like a father in his 50s that just walk up and slapped somebody in the middle of the Oscars over a joke. Now, I get a sensitive subject. I think his wife has alopecia, which is the same disease David Ferry had, make your eyebrows and hair fall out. Whatever. It's an autoimmune deficiency. It sucks. But I don't think Chris Rock knew that when he was just talking about short hair. Um, so he got him triggered and he went and slapped him. At least he didn't punch him. But I also think it could have been staged because I know that Will Smith knows how to fake punch because he played Muhammad Ali in the movie and had to, pull punches all day and make it look real. And I don't know, the Oscars hadn't had nothing going for it until that. And that's what Rock said. We just had the most replayed moment of Oscar history or whatever the fuck it is. But it's such a stupid event in the first place. A bunch of pretentious fucking like, oh, you play pretend. That's what you do for a living. You play pretend. A bunch of actors or whatever. They want to give themselves awards. And it's like, look, if you want an Oscar, do a movie about the Holocaust, just like Kate Winslet said. And then she went and did that, and then she got an Oscar.
Well,
So,
I sincerely believe they should introduce the sucked Harvey Weinstein's dick prize.
well, that's what we just said, Oscar.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is a cocksucking contest. It's like, oh, you got a trophy. How many dicks did that cost?
yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
But nobody cares about the Oscars. Nobody gives a shit about the rich and famous and how they venerate each
Well,
other.
especially now,
This
right?
seems not
The more like,
important.
right, the more gas prices go up and real life problems bite people in the ass, they could give a fuck about the drama of millionaires. You know,
Yeah.
oh, their wife's hair falling out. The autoimmune thing, that sucks. Get a wig. You got the money, Um, whatever. You don't just walk up and slap somebody on a stage on TV. Like, I don't know. A woman could get away from that, but
Well,
usually if a man hits another man, they go to prison,
yeah,
or they get
but
fined.
you have to remember that Chris Rock is Chris Rock size.
Yeah, Will Smith's like 6'2", something like. I mean, he's
Yeah.
big for an actor,
Yeah.
and he just slapped him like he slapped this little fucking guy. Uh, who just laughs it off, so whatever. But
Well, it is a funny bit to make fun of somebody's wife and then get beat. That's that is an old trope.
yeah, maybe that should happen more often. I don't know, but I feel like, well, you've limited what comedians can joke about to almost nothing, right? All these woke fuckers, and they think it's okay to be violent. Oh, you offended me? I get to hit you. And no, you don't. You do that shit later. Flick them off from the table or something. Be like, and yell at them, heckle them. Be like, "Yay, play off. That's my wife. Shut the fuck up." You don't just walk up and smack somebody. Sucker punch them too.
Well,
Yes.
was it a sucker? I haven't seen the clip, but I assume you could see Will Smith coming.
He basically walked right up to him. He knew he just said a joke about his wife, so he's like, "What's going on here?" And Will Smith just wow, like really slapped his ass. Like, and he almost punched him, but you can kind of see he opened his hand. Like he had enough fucking sense to know not to do that, because that could have broken his jaw or whatever. Then he apologized at the end. He's like, "This is why I got triggered." But like, it doesn't matter, man. Like people, comedians make jokes all the time about whatever, handicapped people, something, something. Be like, "Hey, man, my cousin's got cerebral palsy." Or like, everybody knows somebody that is gonna be the butt end of a joke. I was in the comedy club in LA, and they're doing their Asian jokes, and I'm sitting there with an Asian wife. I'm like, well, they're gonna riff on everybody, I guess. It's it's fucking it's a joke, man. It's a comedian. This isn't well, I would say it's not like the news, but it is.
Well, well, there's
Our news is less than comedians.
well, I don't know. I think everybody needed this to alleviate pressure and remind us what life is really about. Watching black celebrities fight, and
Yeah, well, it took everyone's mind off Ukraine for about half a day.
yeah, the 12-hour news
Uh,
cycle conquered.
just imagine any other color acting that way, though.
Just Brad Pitt just beating the shit out of somebody.
Just Brad Pitt just pop Jim Carrey in the face or something, like he'd go to jail,
Yeah.
100%. You go to everybody, they'd be freaked out that you're acting like that. But and Will Smith's quote unquote one of the calm ones or whatever. Like he doesn't cuss in his raps or anything. You know what I mean? If that had been a different, well, I guess Will Smith's like a rapper and an actor and a movie. He does it all. But you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah, if it was
fucking
Kodak.
Ice Cube or
Yeah,
somebody went up and did that, everybody worried, But Smith, you're like, oh, he's finished. I'm like, he's got such a good boy image that he could get away with slapping somebody in front of everybody. And he's got the color card. Because like, oh well, there they go again. I don't think like that, but a lot of people think like that.
yeah. Do you want to hear a tweet Ice-T had the other day? It's very traumatic. Traumatic. Uh,
Oh, I got banned on Twitter, by the way.
yeah,
Again,
yeah. We know. You dared to.
for anybody who didn't.
You talked about the trans people, and when you do that, you get banned very fast.
I think it might one. I told a joke. I said, it was, oh, men should not be allowed to play women in sports. Space. I told you this would happen if we let them vote.
Yeah.
The joke is, yes, definitely men should not be playing women in sports, but we got to this point based on the people that largely women voted into office.
Yes, but
Because that's who votes liberal.
yeah, but if okay, so if we thought if you thought like the people at Twitter, that tweet would be okay because the definition men means anyone who identifies as a man, and women
Right.
means
I
anyone
didn't
who
say
yeah, you
trans
didn't say
women.
yeah, you didn't say trans
All
women.
I said was men.
Yeah, you didn't
Right.
say previous men. You said men should not play women in
Right.
sports. Uh, but over to the Ice-T tweet. It's very traumatizing. So Ice-T says, oh, I can't do his accent. I was robbed at a gas station in New Jersey last night. After my hands stopped trembling, I managed to call the cops, and they were quick to respond and calm me down. My money is gone. And then I have to click to get the
That's
police. Okay. The police asked me if I
okay.
knew who did it. I said yes. It was pump number 9.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's
That's good.
I think that's like an old joke that just gets recycled every time the gas price increases. I feel like I've
It
heard
was
it
during the
before.
Gulf War. There was a bunch. Yeah, during the second Gulf War, when gas went up to over $2, and everyone was freaking out. That was a lot in 2003. I heard jokes like that. Hump number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had me for a second. It's like, who robs Ice-T? Like, if you're just scanning like, imagine you're a crook and you're just scanning the scenery for someone to rob, and you see that guy, you just pass, like, there's got to be an easier target, always. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also, like, if you're a young hoodlum, you're not gonna know who Ice-T is.
Yeah, but you could look at him size and just be like, nah,
Is Ice-T big?
next. Wait, is it Ice Cube or T? One of them's all jacked. I forget. I don't know.
Ice-T is the
Um,
guy who played the detective on some kind of. Uh,
if I'm correct, I think he's fairly big for someone. Like,
oh,
I'm
Ice-T
not saying
used to
pro
be in the
wrestler or not.
army. Did not know that.
He's like, it just looks like somebody. It, like if you show, and they've done this experiment in jails, they'll just take a picture of a subway or whatever and say who you're gonna rob, and they show it to different criminals, and they all pick the same person. Like they all go for the weak lamb, right?
Yeah.
Um, to get like if he's in that picture, and you go, well, who's the next person? The next person, he's gonna be the last one, or I'll go to another place. Because that just looks like someone that don't have money who might beat your ass or shoot you. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I looked up the height. Ice T is 5'11", and Ice Cube is he's I guess he's 5'7", 5'8".
Mm.
Yeah,
You're still gonna rob a woman or a little, I don't know. Like 5'11" is not that imposing, but I think he's pretty well built. Or used to
yeah.
be.
Well, he used to
Anyway,
be in the army, is what we found out today.
yeah,
Uh,
that's enough. That's enough to keep you off the list. Like
yeah,
if you're 5'11" in pretty good shape, um, there's always gonna be somebody else with very little effort, weaker than you, to go pick on.
yeah. They're called predators, not apex predators. They go after the
Right.
easiest target.
Exactly. I've seen that happen, man. Like I did that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna follow my girlfriend home. College. She's like, watch, just stay back there. Watch how many times I get fucking hollered at and stuff. It was insane. It was like inevitable. Anybody she passed by. Because I walk by at night the same route and don't hear shit from anybody.
Yeah, your
I don't
audio
have
is
her
getting a
legs.
little windy, but that's okay.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll move it. All right, so let's talk serious shit now.
Okay.
Did now have you seen? I posted I put up VK. I don't know if I could put it on Telegram about the rules or whatever, but there's some horrible, disgusting videos of Russian prisoners of war being tortured on the street.
Were they shot in
It,
the knees? Is that what was going on?
They shot him through the knee or legs,
Ugh.
and then basically beat him there over and over again. Beat, stop, beat, stop, so that let the adrenaline go through and wear out, and then beat on him again.
Yeah,
So if you start beating on somebody, their adrenaline will kick in, and they'll be able to deal with it. They go ahead and let that rush go through, let them calm down, and then beat on them again. Right? That's professional torture, by the way.
yeah. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
play
There's
that on live stream
no,
because
don't
it's
need to. I
gore.
described it well enough.
Yeah, yeah,
It's these Nazis, and they are Nazis. Well, okay, they're the modern Nazis. They're not like socialist Germans or anything. But all Nazi means is anti-Russian.
yeah,
Like, they think of them as a lower level race that needs to be expunged. And this all goes back to like collectivist thinking of, well, you did Holodomor and communism, and the Nazis fought you like the best, I guess, even though they still lost. So we're going to identify with that group who hated you and killed a million of you. That's why they're gravitating to the neo-Nazism. The original Nazis fought them, didn't want to fight, allied with them in the beginning. Right? They were fighting communism. But they intercepted plans that Stalin was about to turn on Hitler, so Hitler turned on him first. He fucking knew he didn't need a war on two fronts. Wrote that in Mein Kampf. Anyone's like, Hitler's an idiot. He had a war on two fronts. Like, well, they did too. By bringing Japan into the war, both Russia and the U.S. had two fronts. Everybody had two fronts. Whatever. He did it because he had to. They were going to do it to him. And he caught them in offensive positions. That's why his first strike was so successful. He ended up 2 million prisoners, which caused a lot of the labor camps to become death camps because we couldn't feed them.
yeah,
But anyway, the history, I fully understand somebody from Ukraine hating Russia. Like if you're a low IQ, simpleton, you could be like, well, you guys, like all of you, did this to us 75 years ago, 80 years ago. They'd be correct. Like, yep, ethnic Russians did starve you. They also were starved. Like the communists starved them too. Like lots of people, even more people died in Russia than Ukraine. Even if you add Holodomor, still more ethnic Russians in Russia died because of Stalin and Lenin. So they also got the same treatment you did by the communist leadership. So it wasn't a race thing. It was a communism sucks thing. Communist Chinese died by the tens of millions too, by other Chinese. That should be pointed out. A. B. Even if it had been, they're not. That's like me, like Japan hating Americans because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like I didn't do it. You know what I mean? That's government. Anyway, they hate him. The Soviet Union was horrible for everybody, but it's been the worst for Russians, especially the ethnic Russians who are not in Russia but in one of the satellite states after the Union fell apart. They got caught without a homeland and have been just the brunt of the blame for not only in Ukraine but every satellite state hates the ethnic Russians that live there. But they're like, you guys did communism to us,
yeah. It's
even though communism was also done to them,
yeah, it's collective
right?
blame again, which I thought we
Right. It's like,
were
oh,
done
is
with.
communism biological? I was unaware that communism came from biology. Didn't China also have it, and Cuba? And like, you don't have to be Slavic or whatever the hell. It's just it's a political ideology. Oh, it's an economic ideology that doesn't work and didn't anyway. I know somebody like, well, that's not true communism. Like, okay, that's not true Wahhabism. He's democratic Nazi, whatever the hell. It's democratic socialism. Okay. It didn't work and it will never work. Centralized plan fail. Um, I guess you could get communism to work on a way smaller population, but that It doesn't upscale, put it that way.
Yeah,
I don't think you can micromanage 100 million people, 150 million, much less a billion. No, fuck that.
you need
Anyway,
price signals
uh,
uh, to.
yeah, you need. Look, only markets can deal with all the millions of little decisions. Like you can't. It's like even in way smaller scale. You look at the Park Service or the Forest Reserve or something. All they're trying to do is manage a park, right? And not even people, just animals. And they're trying to decide which animals to shoot, what plants to kill, whatever, and they fuck it up. Like, oh, you did this, which caused this, which caused that. It's this long chain of things. Like, the market will fluctuate, and it's self-correcting, right? If prices are too high on a certain thing, then more people produce that thing because you can sell it for a lot, and then that ups competition, brings the price back down again. It doesn't happen instantly, but like it allows and it makes corrections. It's not utopian, but that is the best. When you have someone coming in, price fixing, doing rent control, welfare, all those things fail and always have everywhere they've ever been done. And it sounds good. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make sure, like Venezuela did this before the sanctions or anything. They'll say, oh, too many people are poor, they can't afford eggs and milk. We're just gonna make it we're going to do price controls and say you're not allowed to charge more than 85 cents for bread and 60 cents for eggs or something. Well, okay, great. What happened? You sell out of bread because it costs more to make bread and eggs than what you're allowed. So then you end up with no bread or eggs and you have shortages and empty shelves. Because if you don't if you don't let people sell things for more than what it costs to make them, they're not going to make them. And then no one has them. So in an attempt to get everyone to have them by making them more affordable, they out okay, we're gonna we're gonna put a cap on how much you can sell it for, and we're gonna subsidize the producers to make up for their losses on the sales, right? And then it's like, okay, and where are you gonna get the money for these subsidies? And when you start subsidizing stuff, then they just make up reasons for it to cost more and need greater and greater subsidies. And you have people leaving other industries to go into the industry that subsidize because it doesn't matter how well they perform. And then you have shortage in some other thing. Like you see how it's like whatever, it's kind of like there's a couple leaks in the pipes. You put your thumb on one, you have to take it off the other one. You gotta let the market regulate that kind of stuff out. Anyway,
Yes, yes.
best thing they could do to bring down prices is have more competition. And if people usually, if rent's too high or something, it's because of limitations on how many apartments you're allowed to build or regulations on how hard it is and safety inspection and da 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 da. It makes it so expensive for someone to create a house or an apartment that only a few can do it. And so you have a lot of people fighting over a few spaces, which makes the price up and up and up. You could also shave on the cost of living side instead of raising wages. You could say, well, why don't we lower the cost of utilities and da 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 da, which you could do with deregulation, blah blah blah. Markets work. I'm walking around in one right now. Okinawa works. Multicultural, fan. It's free market. They got thriving hotels and businesses. It's fucking paradise out here. There's no commies. There's no liberals. That might be the best thing. It's like it's still part of the government of Japan, which has been conservative for like the last 70 years in a row. So there's no shit libs. No one to come in here and give away free crack pipes or tell criminals they can get out of jail the next day. They're too full. Like none of this bullshit they're doing in places like California. Someone robbed someone in the middle of the day. they don't go to jail. They're in and out within the same day. They're back on the street again. Repeat. There are people with like 29 fucking felonies or something. Like 29. Like 2 would be shocking. Yeah, he's got like 15 assault charges or something. Like, why is this person not living in a cage? I mean, they don't believe in punishment or something. I don't know.
The cage is racist, and you know it. Like the
Well, that is the thing. It's a statistic. It'd be like, well, too many people in jail. Wait, well, so what? I mean, if you behave that way, you go to prison. That would all even out after you put enough of them in jail. It'll quit happening.
Yeah, I want to remind people that we are taking super chats on Odysee and Rumble, if Rumble works.
Yeah, Rumble too.
I have not seen any Rumble super chat yet, but I'm.
The very first one we ever did got 2 $5 things or something, but whatever. It's on Odysee, so I'm more comfortable with Odysee because Rumble, even though I'm there, did boot me for 9 weeks or whatever, and then come back again. So
yeah, and with Odysee, you're one of the original adopters, so that I actually think they have like a special place in their heart for you.
I was the first influencer of like, let's say over 10,000 or something to be on Odysee. I was on there like the second day. I was on Liberty or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody emailed me. Like, I think one of their people are a fan. Ooh, drunk guy in the road.
Oh.
2 people help him up and walk him to the sidewalk. How nice.
Yeah.
The cars just stop and patiently wait for him.
I have a question. Jeremy Kaufman is the CEO of Odysee, right?
Yes.
Have you seen his latest political ad?
No, but I know he was on with Reed Coverdale.
Well, if you give me a second, I can pull it up because it's actually quite good.
Yeah, play it. Wow.
Picture this.
本当にマジ痛かった。
お水をおすすめ。He's talking trash.
Innocent people
and the girl just
in the Middle East.
Like,
they're having dinner.
Okay. They said thank you.
A bomb
here we go.
is dropped on their house, and they're all killed. What's the problem with this? It's being done by white men. I am Jeremy Kaufman, the Chief Diversity Officer at Halliburton and candidate for United States Senate. It is time to diversify the murderous military-industrial complex. We need to make the nukes gay. And that's why I'm running for office. Like my fellow Democrats and Republicans, I will support every war. I will support stealing billions of dollars from Americans to kill innocent people, but we are gonna make it so gay. It will go down in the history books. We will say never have so many genders and so many races killed innocent people. Let's bomb Yemen. But let's make sure a rainbow of skin colors are dropping those bombs. These are gonna be the gayest transit murders the United States has ever performed. That's what I stand for as the Chief Diversity Officer at Halliburton, and that's what I'll do once elected to the United States Senate. I'm Jeremy Kaufman, and I'm gay for this message. I'm serious.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Just
Oh, I
find,
fully support that.
yeah.
Make nukes gay.
Yeah, we need. Well, that's basically how the Pentagon and CIA got liberals on their side, was just by signaling that they were gay and diverse when they slaughter innocent people all over the world.
He should have said at the very end, "Ad banned in Florida."
Yeah,
Ad banned in Florida and Arkansas. Anti-gay. They only want straight cis bombs. But I love the line in there. He goes, just like Democrats and Republicans, I'll support every war and kill innocent people. Just make it gayer.
yeah. Well, I don't.
He really is running for something though. Is it Senate or Congress?
I think it's a Senate. Yes.
That's not a joke.
Yes. Uh,
Oh, did I lose you?
no, no. I'm here. Oh, wait.
Maybe I lost.
I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. My
Oh,
bad. My
okay.
bad. So yes, he is running for Senate, and he, yeah, I don't know, but he, if like honestly, to be honest, Jeremy Kaufman is kind of based because he's getting sued by the federal government over library, and he's fighting it. And that's how you know he's good.
Yeah.
The government trying to destroy his business. That's why he's good.
They also, well, yeah, they did it to me too. They should, they kind of pushed giant companies like RT into his arms.
Yeah, which is like the only place you can find RT live streams now. And they
And I can tell you what, as of this weekend, possibly, because this is what I'm doing down here, we're going to get Press TV on Odyssey also.
oh, that's great.
That's kind of that's what we're hoping anyway. I'm trying to do. I think them seeing RT do it gives them more, it gives them credibility, right?
Yeah.
RT's on there. Press TV English, anyway, which got
Yes.
banned from the UK, should be, if they don't do daily videos, just have an ongoing live stream on Odyssey.
Yeah.
So that will be the starter kit. And then I'm like, look, I post mine on there anyway when I do something on Press TV. I don't have YouTube anymore, so it's just fine. You know, still doing a little bit better numbers on Bitchute, like double. But I've had it a lot longer, and it had notifications. Odyssey doesn't, but now they do. So you know, the fact they keep adding things all the time. Bitchute never got live streaming. You know, never got Shekelchats. They have a donation thing, but it's through PayPal. I'm like, well, that's useless. Like every creator is not allowed to use that anyway.
Yeah.
And
PayPal.
I'm not the only one banned on. Yeah, they like everybody's banned on that now, including the whole state of Russia.
Yeah, I also saw this. I didn't see the video because it's Tim Pool, and I don't uh, approve of him, or I don't
It's-
like watching him
it's hard to-
because there's so little knowledge behind everything he says.
It's so hard to listen to somebody read the news and
Yeah,
not even.
and not understand a single word he's reading, and just going like, "What about this? What about that? Could be this." Amazing.
Could be this. Could be the opposite of what I just said too. You know?
Yeah, but
Whatever. You know, it works for him as a business, and he's
well, yeah,
you know
he's
he's
made
popular because he doesn't say anything.
well, he's made the professional decision of producing quantity, not quality. So he produces a lot, and that's how you succeed in the algorithm. But
Well, also what he did was he had a nuanced-ish view on Trump as a leftist, and so he would defend Trump a little bit, and people are like, "Whoa, base," because they hear nothing like that ever, you know.
yes,
But I said the Fuentes made this point to Dave Smith too. Like Nick's been banned on everything. People like I've been banned on things. Daniel McAdams is banned on everything. Like fucking James Corbett's banned on everything. All the people I've had on Reed's show, Mike Rivera is banned on everything. You know, Sean Atwood was banned and returned again. Is kind of walking the line. You know, Addy Ad's been banned on YouTube like 10 times. So, like, what is the difference? between all of us and people like Jimmy Dore and Dave Smith and Tim Pool. Is we're all anti-war or whatever. Like, yeah, war is bad, whatever. But the difference is like they're not saying anything. It's all no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, quit bombing Yemen. Hooray! No, you know why is there war in Yemen? Oh, just Saudi Arabia's dickheads or something? It's Saudi. No, they don't know. They don't get the whole picture, right? And so like if you start talking about Epstein, you start talking about 9/11, or in a serious way, not a kook way. Because the kooks are not banned. They let the kooks say whatever they want to say. The only kook ever that got banned was Alex Jones. And that's because he said something that wasn't kooky about Syria, and then they cut his cord.
Yeah, and
Just like that.
he also decided to enter the realm of politics by giving Trump his support, which brought heat on to him. But my point was that it seems the system.
Seems like they banned him before the election then.
Well,
They thought Alex was going to sink the ship because he's so insane. But Hillary's even crazier, so that didn't work.
okay, but my point was it seems that they are using the same strategy for the midterms as they used in 2020, and that has been to ban right-wing content creators. So now they're going after people still on Patreon, and they're like killing their income. So
Oh yeah.
So that is how they actually. If you wanted to make a case about election meddling, you could make it pretty forcefully and with good reason. In that,
You could easily do it with the Twitch Hunter Biden thing.
No. Well, deplatforming is a form of election meddling. Changing the information landscape is a form of election meddling. And that is the strategy they came up with after Trump. They were like, this is never going to happen again.
I think it's terrorism. Like it's somebody's job. It's their whole way of financing themselves, and you're just like throw them off based on bullshit. Like any bullshit claim of offense or racism or whatever, and you're gone. And then you can stretch that definition to anything. And what they do is they only enforce it, selectively based on somebody's politics. We all know that's what's going on. Like if you're even perceived to be right wing, you don't even have to be right wing. If you're just not left wing enough, you'll get banned.
Oh yes, totally.
But it started with me, then like libertarians, some anti-war people, conspiracy people,
Nazis.
And then it really, there weren't any real Nazis to ban though. In fact, like Richard Spencer was on CNN, and they elevated him. Like he was on Twitter. He still is. Like they don't ban actual Nazis. They use the word Nazi to ban people like myself who are not Nazis to say you're a Nazi, banned. But when someone's actually a fucking Nazi, like the Adolf Italian or Spencer or whatever, they don't do shit. Right? Someone's openly fucking white racist, they didn't care. The reason a lot of these like white nationalists get banned is not because of their white nationalism. It's like most of them also say things about other taboo topics. They don't go along with the war propaganda.
Yeah.
So they start banning people like that. But then what really did it was COVID. Everybody that didn't get on the fucking Branch Covidian crap lost their stuff. They're not 9/11 people or any of that. They're just like, hey, I don't think we really need these jabs. So it started with like, anti-war or telling the truth about the deep state, for lack of a better word, who got axed. Very quickly, it grew to all the COVID. They'll call them deniers, but that's not. People told the truth about COVID. Now it's way bigger than that. It's like all of Russia. They're not like PayPal has canceled Russia, not the Russian government, like every Russian citizen.
140 million people.
Right, and ethnic Russians living abroad.
Yes, and oligarchs and people with 3 citizenships.
Well, no, yeah, if you have 3 citizenships, that's okay. Only certain oligarchs.
Yeah, well, the Yad Vashem tried to stop. Also, Zelensky tried to stop Roman Abramovich from being sanctioned, but they were unsuccessful in their attempts, and he was effectively sanctioned.
Yeah, it's
Imagine
funny
that.
because he hates
Why?
food.
Yeah, why would Zelensky go to bat for a Roman Abramovich? What's going on there? Is there something between them?
Yeah.
Do they share some common identity? I thought one's Ukrainian, the other is Russian. Doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, they're both something ding else though. I need my bell. Uh, because man, why is Roman Abramovich was exiled from Russia in the first place? Everyone should read the book Godfather of the Kremlin. It's mostly about Boris Berezovsky, who's dead now. You get a nice little taste of each of these oligarchs and why they had to leave or go to jail. Like Khodorkovsky got the Yukos, the oil giant, put in prison. Uh, Putin made him either get out of politics and toe the line or go to jail or get the fuck out. And a lot of them fled to places like England or Israel where there's no extradition treaty. All of them are Jews. Oh, what the fuck was going on? We got a small population of people that took over billions in assets from the Soviet Union. It's not because they're more clever, or it's because they secretly had support from the Israeli state. Duh. And of course, the U.S. Loved that.
Yes.
As another, weapon against the Soviet Union. So they supported these kleptocrats, but now it's coming to bite them back in the ass.
Well, effectively, what they've done is made the kleptocrats weaker by taking all their assets as like a punishment for not controlling Putin.
Yeah, well, their idea is just it's a total freak out on the level of after St. Floyd died of fentanyl, they started removing black and colored people's mascots from food condiments and stuff. Like, we can't have Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben or Land O'Lakes. What's the point of that? It's like that puritanical, she's a witch. No, you're a witch. Everybody telling everybody, and it got such hysteria that we ended up wiping out any people of color from being in advertising because that's racist or something. And everyone had to outprove the next person, like, I'm more anti-racist than you. And this got into like, well, I'm more anti-Russian than you. And this is the same kind of people, like, okay, if you're doing everything the television says and you've whipped up this hysteria and you're collectively condemning all things Russians ever, like athletes, musicians, whatever, you would have been a Nazi in the 30s. No doubt about it. You cannot think for yourself.
Yeah, well,
and it's a great correlation of the people who wore 2 masks and waved the Ukrainian flag and Black Lives Matter and all that. They fall for everything.
Well, yeah, well, they are our enemy. Those are the drones the system utilizes to fight you.
Yeah, you just get the lowest peg. It's easy to manipulate them and use them as a weapon. It's a club.
Yeah.
Like clubbing SEAL club.
But like, I guarantee you, like, if you could control like the media they watched just like an hour a day, you could have them sensible in a month, and you could have them rabidly sensible in 2 months, and you could have them ready to overthrow the government.
WMDs.
Yeah, you could have them ready to overthrow the government in a year, easy.
Oh, you could if you gave them real media, they'd be ready and told them everything the government's been doing with these biolabs and everything else. They'd be ready to overthrow it in a month. But all they do is feed them garbage constantly. It's constantly reinforced, lie, over and over again. And they reinforce each other because now they have the addition of social media made it worse because they think it's free media and it ain't. They only hear one side. They'll let a moron argue the other half or whatever. but no one reasonable. A clown can do it. So like I'm not ripping on these guys because they're like Dave Smith's a comedian, so is Jimmy Dore. They've never claimed to be geopolitical analysts or anything, but they're like put in that position because all the actual analysts are gone, right? So like the best presence we have left are comedians who, as a hobby, study some of this stuff, you know, and that's the best representation we got.
Well, to be
Which is,
fair,
it shouldn't be like that.
yeah, but to be fair, comedians are good at seeing bullshit because usually their entire act is bullshit. So, like,
Well, yeah, there.
I
Look,
met this guy
you
at the
gotta be
store.
clever to be a comic.
Yes,
Right.
but usually there's stories like I met this guy at a store. He said this, and then I analyzed that, and I said this to him. And their stories are all made up.
I know.
And it's
But look, dude.
it's a story, but the point of the story is the punchline. So that makes you analyze words and statements intently because you're trying to mold language
It's something.
into
You
something
can be very
funny.
good at it, like Seinfeld or somebody like that. But there's a fucking different skill set between that and an intelligence analyst like Scott Ritter,
Oh yes, yeah.
right?
It's
I
kind
mean,
of a
it's
sad
just
state of affairs, but the same thing happened during the Iraq War with Jon Stewart. Like he was like the voice of the anti-Bush left.
yeah. I mean, he was kind of the voice of reason, but you know, there were actual analysts saying way more that got ignored. Actually, again, Ritter told the truth about that. And no one listened.
Yeah, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of a little bit of sugar makes the medicine go down? So if you if you put in some jokes, it's easier for people to digest because it makes it enjoyable and not just black pilling. Like I just listened to Scott Ritter, and I fear for the future of Europe. Russia can like economically
Yeah.
devastate us in one move. Next winter is going to be
Well,
hard.
well, the European people are gonna have a change of leadership. I'm not worried about Europe. Like, if you stay the course, you're fucked. But you're already seeing riots in Spain and Italy, and everyone's against this. Like, you know what wakes people out of their stupor more than an hour a day of good media? Being hungry. That'll work. That'll do it. You know,
$10
it sucks because that's gonna be violent. Yeah,
per gallon
but
gas. That's also like
yeah.
a wake up call.
Well, as James Carville said, it's the economy, stupid. And all of Europe, every European leader is about to get a spoonful of it's the economy, stupid. He's right. It doesn't matter. All the propaganda in the world, people are like, I don't like paying this much for gas. You're out of here. Japan was confused about having to pay in rubles. Like, so apparently South Korea is doing it. They're paying in rubles. But Taiwan and Japan are like, we've had no orders to say we have to buy these switch currencies. So I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
But the largest importer of natural gas from Russia is Japan, and the third largest is Korea.
yeah, but I assume that is for new contracts or is it for existing contracts?
Well, they start next month,
Oh, okay.
so that's in a few days. So, I mean, as of April 5th or something, yeah, you better get on it, at least for Taiwan. I didn't look up Japan's. I saw where it said next month, but I don't know the day. But I'm sure somebody can Yandex it. I won't say Google it. You can Yandex it. Can't say DuckDuckGo either.
No, DuckDuckGo is terrible and it sucks. And I should have known trusting a Weinberg.
Yeah. To be fair, you know, Odyssee's owned by Jews, but they're not Zionists.
Yeah.
Just, I hate having to even point that out. It's such a simple point. But like, this isn't some. When people point out all the, I don't know, evil guy that did ABC, and he's a Jew. It's like, well, yeah, because that's who can get away with that. Like they've got this like automatic way to censor resistance by just yelling anti-Semite. You're Hitler, and that just makes people back off. Like, oh, I don't want to persecute this person. They're Jewish, you know, and they're gonna call me anti-Semitic, and that'll end my career. And it's true. If another group had that ability, they would also be acting like that. It's way easier for them to get away with it than anybody else, so it disproportionately slides that direction.
Yes, but I'm just
It's just about ability.
yeah, but I'm just very disappointed in DuckDuckGo because I really liked that search engine. It had very good
Really?
features.
Yeah. Well, there's Brave, there's Yandex.
Well, yeah, but there's
There's
DuckDuck.
this, right? Just come. Well, I'll do all the searching, and you come to Telegram and get the stories. Like that'll save people time.
Well, yeah, that's the rational way of ingesting news because it would take too much time to actually find all the sources yourself. That's a research project, and people don't have like
It is.
2 hours to use
Well,
on
that's
that per day.
that's why people pay for this kind of stuff. Not, I mean, it's voluntary, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
but it's hard to find that, you know, like whether they're following me or Moon over Alabama or Scott Horton or whoever, you know. How do you find that person? You know, it's almost word of mouth because we had to get our message out in a little window where there was some free speech, you know, in like 2004 or 5 or something.
Oh yeah,
And if you didn't find people then, you were screwed.
yeah. You can't use Google to find information that's anti-NATO, anti-the U.S. Like,
No.
like you can't find dissidents with these mainstream search engines. That's not possible. The only chance you have for that is when a new search engine pops up and their algorithm is clean, like Bing. But they too will censor after a while. But in the beginning, they need to be a good search engine. But it doesn't really matter because people are so ingrained into Google now that they're not going to switch.
You hear this obnoxiously loud music?
Yeah, what is it?
It's from a giant car stereo.
Don't
Guess who's inside?
American?
2 foreigners.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're from. Not here though. You just know it. There's some kids today at the pool. They just walked up and like grabbed the toys away from my 1-year-old and 3 and 4-year-old. Just grabbed the stuff and like, there's an older girl, probably like 7, just takes their shit, right? Not even afraid of parents or anything like that. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, they're from Mongolia. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
It's
Marauders.
basically a barbarian.
Yeah.
They're basically barbarians. Like even a 7-year-old girl, she's like, that's mine. It's like, and that's I don't know what their reputation is outside Asia. I don't really leave here, but like we're just like, oh fuck it, Mongols, you know. But yeah, I mean, I had to take the stuff back. You'd be like, you can't do that, you know. And you know, her parents didn't care. Right? I'm like, well, you know,
Okay.
I care.
Confirmed.
That's it. I'm like, that's a baby. That's a baby. You don't take toys from a fucking baby.
Well, okay, so it's confirmed. Mongolians are the gypsies of Asia.
This one was, yeah. Like, okay, I'll dunk your head in the water since your parents don't do anything. I'll bully you. Yeah, but it's like they're already acting like that by 6 or 7 years old. Already that aggressive, that fucking 5-yard stare. You know what I mean? Japanese kids never do that. Koreans either. I can't imagine that. Someone told me a story like that. I'm like, you're full of shit. It just wouldn't happen. I can see China's about 50-50. You know, you never know. Mongolia, oh yeah. No problem.
All
Giving you
right.
the stereotypes, man, but it matters, man. It matters how you raise your kids. It's all the same race. And it's an ethno state too. If someone's like, well, Japan's an ethno state, so is Mongolia. It doesn't matter. It's how you raise your fucking kids. You just don't raise them. The good side of that is very friendly. There's no ice. You don't need an icebreaker. Very direct and honest. I like all that too. But doesn't work for children's relations.
Okay.
Anyway,
Uh,
back to the POW stuff. Now this is a war crime. This video, they've shot through the knees or legs, hamstrings, and they're just beating these people and torturing them and talking shit to them, filming them for the world to see. You know, even in Iraq, like there's Abu Ghraib rape prisons, all that. Americans tortured Iraqis, but by and large, they had enough sense not to film it and put it on the internet. Right? We got some still photos, and if you went on Live Leak and stuff back around 2005, 4, you could see some pretty horrible shit. I remember watching a 15-year-old Iraqi girl get gang raped by soldiers. They're all forcing her to suck dicks, and it was fucking awful. The guy bragging about it, and
okay.
I'm like, is this real? You know, it was so horrible. But that was like not what they're doing was on VK, Telegram, all over Ukraine. Probably let you do it on YouTube because YouTube and Facebook or Meta, whatever they're calling that faggot thing now, is you could openly declare violence on Russians, not soldiers, just any Russian. You're allowed to say we should punch him. It's like punch a Nazi. Remember that?
Yeah.
Didn't that come full circle? Punch the guys who were punching the Nazis.
Do you want to hear from a super chat?
Oh, yeah, we have to.
Okay, so Brett M said, "At what point are we not allowed to be on the internet at all together?" No, wait. At what point are we not allowed to be on the internet altogether? Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm almost there.
Well, there are to a certain degree like 3 internets now. There is the Western internet, there is the Russian internet, and then there's the Chinese internet. Now the Chinese is separated by a hard firewall, and the Russians is separated mainly by companies associated with it, right?
There's a Korean one too. Like they have Line, which is pretty big, and then all of Japan's on that too. Yeah, there's basically like 2 Asian ones and a Western one and the Russian one, and like the Asian ones aren't in English, so that's not even, you can't even use it. VK and Telegram were started by a Russian who lives in the Middle East, but they're not Western. They let you, by and large, but what happens is countries are banning Telegram.
Yes.
And they're gonna ban VK. Just wait. They banned RT and Sputnik. They're gonna ban VK.
Yeah, I just want to make this point. VK.
There's Gab.
Okay, VK.
I mean,
no. Telegram actually has a translation feature, so you can actually browse Russian or Chinese Telegram groups and understand what's being said. But yes, there's Gab.
Yeah, Gab and Odysee are both American. And Entropy was, well, it was Canadian for a little while and got ran out of town, basically.
Yeah, now it's Turkish or whatever. They're basically like nomads, just moving.
Now it's broken, is what it is.
Yeah, they broke it.
They stole their engineers. They fucked them.
Yeah.
So there's Gab, Telegram, and VK. So 2 Russian and 1 American. Then Odyssee's American. And Odyssee's just sort of getting off the ground. They've been around for years, but it's really been the last year because of all the banned people from COVID, I guess, that they finally got some legs under them, you know? And now they got RT. And that's just where I watch RT. I don't go to their website. I just watch it on Odysee. There's also LinkedIn/Substack, which I think is also American, that seems to be okay. I don't test the waters too much there, but that's an alternative to Patreon, which is also American. Subscribestar is also American. So like, you say the West, and it's like, yeah, it sucks. It's full of censorship, but America is still the most free speech of the West, which doesn't say much because they're so bad. But like, of the companies that are like, yeah, well, you can use BitChute's also America, or no, BitChute's, I
BitChute
think
is
they're in the UK,
British.
aren't they?
Yeah, they're UK.
Yep. So they're number 2. So everything else is American now, besides BitChute.
Well, the reason
And Gab has Gab TV, and yeah.
Yeah, the reason people use American companies is because America has the Section 230 liability clause that ensures that the companies are not liable for what the users post. That's almost a necessity for running a social network.
Right. But it's not like foreigners coming and setting up shop in America. It's just American making America. It's just a numbers game. It's 330 million people versus way less than that.
Yeah,
So
and
they're going to be in that
most
area.
of
That's all it is.
most of all the infrastructure is also in the U.S. So you're gonna hook it up to Amazon web services, and everything's just in America, and it works great. And that's why so many companies choose America as a headquarter, yeah.
Put their HQ in Ireland to avoid taxes, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, well, we can, the double dip or whatever they call that Irish runaround with how.
So there's advantages, but that's what I'm saying. It's still like the place. There are people there who believe in free speech, as much as the government's like fuck off about it. And even the stuff you get banned on, Facebook's American, Twitter's American, YouTube's American. Like, you never even had a thing to get banned on in the first place if they hadn't made that. So, and then all the alternatives except for BitChute are American. But the best have been Russian, Telegram and VK. VK is a complete replacement for Facebook. You can do everything you can do on Facebook, you can do on VK. And you won't get banned.
Well,
So I don't know why anybody's on Facebook. Get there. You can use both. You can even set up so that your VK post automatically posts to Facebook.
Which is a.
So you don't have to like go.
Yeah, but that's a risky.
Mm-hmm.
That's a risky. That's
well,
a risky
just
thing
start
to do.
using. Just start using VK the same way you already use your Facebook, except it'll be posted on both. But always put a link and say, join me on VK, join me on VK. So that time, when the next time you get a 30-day ban, which you will, you'll have another place where you can post, where your friends know where you are. You can direct message and do video, live stream, all that stuff on VK. Telegram, I don't know. It's kind of a unique thing. And Gab is just like Twitter, but it doesn't have the audience. And that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well,
and they don't censor BitChute videos. Every single BitChute video has got a warning under it on Twitter. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, so I just want to notify everyone that the newest Twitter for Ryan is a voice of Ryjack. And the link is pinned in the channel if you go through the pinned messages.
It's basically a robot that just tweets out whatever is within the Twitter link.
Yeah, but
from the Telegram.
Yes, but you can.
But it's something.
Well, you can log into it and use it as a Twitter account, and I can turn off the auto posting.
Yeah, I'll do that when I get out of here. But like,
you kind of.
I'm going to Gab, man. Like.
Well, yeah, but you need Twitter to like talk to people.
I need Twitter. I was just talking to Daniel McAdams on DM, and he gave me his email, and I was so glad because I'm like, the next day I got banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's from the Ron Paul Institute, right? I'm talking to Ron Paul. I'm so happy, and then bloop, my Twitter's gone. So I'll have something just for the purpose of DMs for all the weirdos that don't DM on other things. But going to Gab. I'm doing an interview with JF when I get back. I got 2 names you can probably guess who are big on Ukraine that I'm going to interview. But I won't say anything because I don't want to get Gabe Hoffman.
Oh, yes. Well, we're talking, of course, about Alexander Dugin and
Yeah, that's it.
and Abby
Sean
Martin.
Hannity. Yeah,
Yeah.
go let them deal with that.
Just a sick Gabe Hoffman on random people.
Oh, but yeah, by the way, I did ask Lee Camp and Abby Martin and Destiny. I offered them a spot on the show to talk about their censorship. Apparently, like they all the RT people lost their shit. Abby's not with RT, but still lost her shit from YouTube. And then Destiny lost his Twitch after his Fuentes debate. They didn't like that. They're like, you're not allowed to talk to the other side because Fuentes won
Well,
that debate pretty
well,
handedly, and it's like that makes us look bad.
well, okay. So the problem with Destiny was that he had Fuentes is banned from Twitch, and that means he's banned from appearing on Twitch. So like the first 10 minutes of the debate, Destiny didn't turn off his Twitch. So Nick Fuentes, the horror,
Wow.
was on Twitch. But then some trans. So
That's hilarious.
well, that's the
He got banned for platforming Nick on Killstream.
well, yeah, but that's the theory at least. That's the theory, but it sounds plausible because they
Yeah.
really don't like Nick Fuentes.
I know. Well, when Nick got kicked off YouTube, because I had already been kicked off like 3 times, I said, come on the show, and he did. We talked about why he got banned, whether he was going to appeal or not. He decided to go his own way. Good move, because they would have just done it again and again and again. Because he was doing real life stuff, his conference and all. That threatens the system. That's not just talking on shit online. That's like organization. That's what they fear. I don't think the white nationalist potty humor and shit's gonna go very far, but like I think he's young enough to change some of his rough edges and be a real threat. So anyway, I hate having to defend Fuentes the way I hate having to defend Donald Trump. It's like, look, all the crap they're actually criticized about isn't a problem, and the stuff you don't criticize about are a problem. But anyway, every black sheep, I've always said, you can speak here. No leftist ever takes the deal. And I was talking about that with Reed and Jackman. They're like, you're a little scary. I'm like, if I say you're the guest, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just let you say your shit. Then I'll be like, I don't agree, but I disagree with censorship more than anything.
Well, right.
And he shouldn't have been censored.
In person, you're a wonderful person, but online, you are kind of scary.
How? Well, why? I'm mean to neocons? Like,
Well, no, but
I
you're
don't know.
pretty forceful about your opinions, and you're good at totally dressing down somebody and telling them why they're wrong.
Yeah, in a debate or something, I'll do that. But I can't walk around doing that to everybody. I'd run out of energy. It's if I invite somebody, like if we agree with each other, it's all good.
Yeah, well, yes.
But if you're an idiot, oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. If you're Jason Burmis, look out.
But Ryan, you also have to understand that like the landscape that people on the left move in has a lot more landmines in terms of getting frozen out. So by platforming or appearing on a platform that they disagree with, that could get them ostracized from work opportunities for the rest of their life because they're on the left.
This is after they've already been banned, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
already debated.
No, but they
already destroyed him. And I was trying to be nice to him. I didn't know he was such a prick. I just thought it was some handicap guy or something. So
yeah.
I'm like, why is this person on talking about Syria and stuff? He doesn't know anything.
Yeah, but Ryan, these people have professional opportunities apart from just their own channel. Like they swim in that water, and they're very mindful of it. They don't want to hurt their career prospects at all.
Well, I guess Destiny still has a YouTube.
Yeah, he'll be fine. If Destiny gets booted from YouTube and then starts streaming on Cozy TV, that would be hilarious.
They should not help him. He would never return the favor, you know. Let him wander around free agent for a couple of years. I should do Cozy. I don't know who to even ask about that. I'm kind of stretched thin on too many things already, though. Uploading to this, and that. But it's something to do once a month, maybe. We got a couple new co-hosts coming after this weekend, too. A little big changes on ANC coming.
Cool.
Yeah. I needed this time. I needed family time. It's the only time they're out of school because school's year-round in Japan. And they only get like a couple weeks off and back to school again. So we're in Okinawa. But in the last 2 days, I didn't do any streams or anything. I waited till all the kids are asleep, and that's why I'm doing this now. But oh, there's a ghost crowd. You got to balance things, you know. But
Yes.
this Ukraine war, I talking to Pete Kiones on Skype just before, or texting, and he's like, he's older than me, for once, somebody. Never seen this level of uniformity in the media and hysteria. The closest thing I can think of is 2003, run up to the second Iraq War. It was pretty fucking bad because there was no social media. It was MySpace, I guess.
Yeah, but like even after 9/11, people still did like tone policing, saying that no, not all Muslims, we can't. And then some people were edgy and saying like glass the entire Middle East, like Howard Stern. But they're like it's totally permissible now to be like collective punishment for all Russians everywhere, no matter where they live.
Well, I just ordered a jacket with a Russian flag, so that's what I'll be wearing everywhere. Just like I had a Hezbollah flag and a Palestinian flag. There was a little bit of, hey, it ain't all Muslims, but that was 9/11, but my example was the Iraq War. Like before the second Iraq War, everybody had a fucking yellow ribbon on their SUV, and it was like Saddam Hussein is a madman, and he's got sarin gas and anthrax, and they believed it. And if you said the truth at all, like, what are you, a Saddam apologist? That guy's insane, just like they say about Putin, right? Like, Saddam Hussein's a lunatic who kills his own people and tortures people and has rape rooms, and they're not saying that about Putin. They're not saying he's got rape rooms or anything yet.
Yeah, but they're calling him a madman
because he's a lot stronger.
Well,
they call him a madman, but they did to Saddam a lot worse.
Yes, but
Gaddafi a lot worse.
But they have to call him a madman because they cannot have any honest analysis of his position and the interest he is acting upon. They cannot look at him as a rational human being acting in the interest of his nation, because that would illuminate too much to the audience. You have to keep the audience dumb and repeat propaganda points.
Well, if he's not mad, then what's his reason for doing this? You'd have to go over the coup in Ukraine in 2014 and walk them through the timeline, right? No, just he's nuts. And it seems like some PR firm came out with this. The line is unprovoked and unjustified. Russian aggression, unprovoked and unjustified. And like, what do you mean? You can always argue about justifications, but you cannot say unprovoked. You can't. I don't know what universe.
No, yeah, it was very provoked. We even got this admission by Zelensky, where he said in an interview that the Americans told him, yeah, Ukraine is never going to be a part of NATO, but just keep saying that you might be. Just keep saying that. And then the question is, why would NATO purposely
No, it's just a rule. You can't have
aggravate.
a NATO member.
Well,
Hold on. You can't have a NATO member while there's contested territory and ongoing war. And they're going to be an ongoing war because they're ethnically cleansing Russians in East Ukraine. But it's only on paper because they have NATO weapons, NATO troops trained to NATO standards, money from NATO. Like they are NATO, except they don't have Article 4.
yes.
And a lot of people get Article 4 and 5 mixed up.
Yes, but the point is, why would NATO or the Americans purposely tell Zelensky to piss off the Russians? What is their motivation in that behavior? And it is to cause a war.
Well, the Americans didn't want the war until next year because they don't have hypersonic missiles yet, but they're getting them. And Putin said this too. Like we know, like right now they have the edge in artillery. They have hypersonic. U.S. does not. And so, if it's got to be now, because once they have those, there's nothing to stop them. All of that in Ukraine, you could just sit there and hit Moscow all day, and it's unblockable.
Yeah.
But you fire one, and the other side's got hypersonic for their artillery, and that's that. Speed kills. They wanted to keep this kind of controlled conflict in Donbass that they could escalate when they're ready. And they've been doing it for 8 years. And Russia saw the clock ticking, and they're like, okay, we cannot allow them to get this hypersonic tech. And it's funny, the first hypersonic missile used in modern, they've had them, but used was by Russia. And they did it on March 20th, the anniversary of the Iraq War. That's when they waited until that day to display this flex.
Yeah, and I'd be interested in what do you think the odds of the Americans creating a hypersonic missile at only 2,000% of the costs the Russians had developing theirs?
Well, according to Russia and the U.S., that they were, around a year out or whatever. So, and Putin said, our intelligence knows, roughly when they're about to have this. We can't let them have this. Can't let them have that edge. They got to take that territory now and back that line up. So, okay, if you're going to shoot one, you're going to shoot it across Ukraine first from Poland or whatever. And people will say, what about these Baltic states? Aren't they in NATO already? Right? They're not in the middle of ethnically cleansing Russians. There's a powder keg already in Ukraine.
Yeah, and the same thing could happen in Estonia and Latvia. They all have significant Russian minorities.
But they are so weak compared to Ukraine that could be cleaned up in 48 hours. Like it had to be Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine's the one with a 200,000 man army and all that, like plus more than that even. But that's what it had to be. This has been planned. These neocons, they think, might makes right. We'll put the missile defense shield in Poland and tell them it's for Iran.
Yeah, very believable.
Right. It's just like they put the THAAD missile shield in South Korea and said it's for North Korea. Well, it's not. It's for China. And the Polish one in Poland is definitely. Iran doesn't even have missiles any missile that could reach Poland. That is for Russia. Hates Russians as much as Ukraine. Exceedingly.
Yes.
Same kind of reasons too.
Yeah, they feel
they were more collectivist thinking.
Yeah, they feel they were oppressed by the Soviet Union.
They were.
Yes, but
So was
everybody,
Russia.
yeah, everybody was oppressed by the Soviet Union. If you were in the Soviet Union, you were oppressed.
The best of that was East Germany
Yes.
because it was the display piece or whatever.
Yeah, it was the window to the world. And people in East Germany probably, some would argue that they had it better under communism than they do now because now there's rampant unemployment and it's basically like the shitty part of Germany where everybody's on unemployment checks and have drug problems.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, you could kind of rewind the clock and say, well, everybody had less unemployment and drug problems X number of years ago.
Yes, but like I've heard this argument from Russians before that things were better during the Soviet Union because the 90s were so terrible that it like wiped out all the wealth they had, and like the Chicago boys, Jeffrey Sachs really did a number on Russia and Ukraine never got better. Russia got better, and that is why they're able to do this now because Putin essentially fixed the Russian state to
He
a certain
kicked the
degree.
oligarchs out of the country.
Yeah,
Yeah, he really did. He really did. Like
living conditions are much better.
not having the Cold War gave them some breathing room. But like during that time is why NATO keeps expanding, right? Russia had to fix its economy, clean its house, get rid of oligarchs, fix its civil infrastructure and all that first. And then they didn't pull the trigger in 2014 because they didn't have a war chest. These sanctions would have crippled them back then. Not now. He made good relations with China, India, Pakistan, all seen way ahead. And the West has really fucked itself. Because like Putin could never just get off the dollar and make his own people suffer in the short term like they're gonna. But now he can blame he can truthfully say, hey, they did it. You know?
Yeah,
And it's like there's no fucking foresight of these neocons. They don't care. They wanted him out. They want regime change. And Joe Biden, they say he slipped up. But come on. He wants us to get rid of Vladimir Putin. They're like, well, Russia, we can fix Russia if we get rid of this guy.
well, so it's like I'm sure the Russians have known for years that the U.S. Policy towards Russia is regime change. That's why the media is propping up Navalny, and that's why they're using intelligence cutouts to send YouTubers to do like pro-Western content in Russian. Yeah.
Have you seen? Can you imagine this?
Oh, your
The
audio
Russian
is
foreign minister.
okay.
The Russian foreign minister, right, Lavrov, in a debate with one of our best minds like Kamala Harris.
Anthony Blinken, little Blinken.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's this. Oh, no, that's Adam Kinzinger level stupid.
Yes.
That's getting there. That's so far down the ruler you can see the hairpiece of Douglas Feith. And I'm sorry, not even Kamala Harris. Russia's a big country. Ukraine, like not even. As to quote Lawrence Wilkerson, who was quoting another general, he said, "Seldom about Douglas Feith. He goes, seldom in my life have I met a dumber man."
That is one of the best quotes about neocons ever.
It is,
But
because
it also
special plans.
yeah, it also says something about the blob. It's not competence that advances your career. It is adherence to the official line or adherence to the
Yes.
policy.
Yep, 100% failing upwards.
Yeah,
I want that in my intro.
seldom in
I want
my
that
life.
Wilkers. Have I met a dumber man? Like set to mute. I'm just gonna have that echo over the music. Like, no, in my life, have I met? He's trying not to cuss. He's like omitting the F bombs in his head. He goes, a dumber man. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going in my intro. What is another good clip? That Wilkerson quote's the best ever made. What would be another good one?
Uh, well, we've been streaming for 1 hour and 45 minutes now. Do you want to take callers or get another quote?
Well, yeah, we'll take a caller, and then I'll think of a quote.
Okay, if you want to speak, raise your hand and I will let you speak. You will be live on Odysee, Rumble, YouTube, VK, and Telegram. So if you got something to say, make sure it's good.
By the way, to answer Brett's question, like I think we're there now. If you were using, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you should make an Odyssey and a Gab and all these alternatives. Get ahead of the curve. It sucks to start over because you're like, yeah, but I already have blah blah number of friends on whatever. Okay, no one's asking you to delete it, but go ahead and start making your backup because that's where we are already.
Yeah, it seems people here have stage fright, so there's nobody raising their hand.
I guess I am mean.
Well, it's your fierce
Somebody
fierce
asked me
attitude.
about the Ring of Antarctica, whatever, and my answer was stop doing drugs because I don't know what to say to that. Like, that's so fucking stupid. like I'm just asking questions, man. Like, no, dude, you're not. That's not a real question.
Wait, the ring
The
of
Earth is round.
oh my God. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that post
And they're like, what do you think about this, Rye? And I'm like, how the fuck could you follow me for X number of years and not know my position on that? You know what I mean?
well, it's also like
Like,
it's also like a shortcut where people are, oh, this sounds interesting. I'm not gonna research it, but I'm gonna try to get somebody else to do all the work for me and tell me I'm retarded.
well, you know what I felt like doing is doing a response video of myself tying my shoes and say that's my answer.
Ooh, you can. Impressive, impressive skills.
It's like, look, I just tied my shoes. That should give you my answer about flat Earth.
Yeah.
Because if you can tie your shoes, you can figure that out.
Aziz A3I3, you're on the air. Well, apparently he's not answering, so I guess
Push the button in the middle.
yes, push the middle button that says.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, what?
I have a problem. Yeah, I have a recently problem. Like, whenever I start to post something reasonable, instantly everywhere I start to be accused as Russian bot or something. So,
Yes.
should I ignore it or just there's a way?
Use humor. Like you can't post serious stuff on social media because you're on a playground full of retards. So
Yeah.
having some sort of sarcasm, like I am with the current thing, that kind of slowly wakes them up. It's a really bad medium because you can't have a conversation because someone will just leave a comment and leave, and like in their mind, like mic drop, done. They don't even care what your reply is. They're so entrenched and sconched in their worldview and convinced they're right. They won't have a conversation. That's how they got to that position by not allowing conversations, right? You're Russian bot, haha, I'm done. It's like saying, anti-gay, racist, sexist, something, I win. So humor, like like if you're using a clown platform, you have to be a shit poster because they can't have, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, I get it.
go more crazy than them. That's always fun. Like you're a Russian bot. Like that's what a Russian bot would say. It's so
Yeah,
dumb.
and the second thing, like whenever I give a counter argument for reasonable people, and they all second thing they bring up is whataboutism. So whenever I say like you keep bringing whataboutism, so I try to say like if we don't compare things, we can't make an argument about anything. So bringing up
Yeah.
whataboutism card is like lowest intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, you can play the what about game too. You know, what about the occupation of Palestine, the
No,
genocide
no.
in Yemen, the
The,
bombing of
the
Iraq?
opposite. The opposite. Like Russia don't have like do anything about Ukraine. They're a sovereign country. They can do whatever they want. They can join NATO, etc. And I say like, what about the
You
Cuba?
can't, you can't
Cuban
ethnically
separatists?
cleanse eastern Ukraine. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that, right? Right. And what? Yeah, exactly. What happened when Russia put missiles in Cuba? The U.S. invaded,
Yeah.
obviously, and would again.
Kennedy threatened to burn the world down.
You know, NATO has attacked sovereign nations. They overthrew the legitimate
Yugoslavia.
government of Libya. They bombed Belgrade. They've done so. No, nobody wants NATO as their neighbor because NATO murders people and does regime
I believe
change.
Somalia is ongoing for 20 years for now, right?
Well,
And you,
are we sanctioning the U.S. for occupying Syria? Are we doing that?
No.
No. They're occupying
right?
the prime real estate in Syria, the oil fields, and
We
yeah.
Are we sanctioning Israel for the Golan Heights or West Bank? No, right? And it's funny how like they all call Crimea. And first of all, Ukraine can do what it wants, and I asked because they had a coup in 2014. So that's a neocon cabal. They don't even represent Ukraine. That's an external position. Of course, if it was a sovereign nation, it would be allowed to make its own rules, but it ain't.
Yeah.
There was a coup, and it's run by oligarchs, and it's the second poorest country in Europe, almost in the world.
Yeah, top three,
And
third corrupt country in Europe.
but it's funny how they support secession sometimes and not others, right? I did that post on the Yankees. Like, it's okay for Texas to secede from Mexico, and I agree, but it was not okay for Texas to secede from the Union in the U.S. It was okay for Panama to secede from Colombia, but it's not okay for Crimea to secede from Ukraine. It's okay to have a North and South Sudan, but um, whenever it's against their own interests, right? It was okay for West Virginia to secede from Virginia. They just created a state. They were okay with that, but
Kosovo.
Virginia couldn't leave the Union.
Yeah.
Kosovo, yeah, they
Yugoslavia is
support
weak.
Kosovo. The whole breakup of Yugoslavia. They support all that. So they're not against secession, they're just against it when it ain't in their interest. But
Okay.
Crimea is Russian and seceded because they got nothing. And who would want to live in Ukraine? Like, there's these billionaires that rule over everybody. They're all fucking poor as hell, with no way to fix it. Denazification, demilitarization is what they're doing, and they're like, look, we're gonna kick out these NATO/neocon installed parasites, so that Ukraine can possibly have at least an attempt to have their own government to make decisions that benefit their population instead of extorting them and exploiting them for a few bell-ringing oligarchs. That's what was happening to Russia until Putin kicked them out, and that's what's been happening to Ukraine.
Okay, so we got a bunch of other speakers here, so I'm going to mute you, Aziz, but thank you for your questions and your comments.
Thank you.
And we got Patrick Smith. You're on the line.
Hey, Ryan. I kind of thought the timing of Yemen kind of getting some strikes, some licks in against Saudi Arabia is kind of weird, considering Saudi Arabia kind of came down not so much on America's side
Well,
with the
they got
sanctions.
they
So do you think the timing is a little suspicious? Like maybe, maybe that's a way of putting pressure on Saudi Arabia, is somehow some entity is supporting the Yemenis finally?
And at the same time, you have them talking about the 9/11 papers and stuff. But if you look at that, Yemen popped some off a year ago. They got some targets in Saudi Arabia, and what it is not a secret that Iran is giving them cruise missiles, and why shouldn't they? But Iran also attacked a base in Iraq again. They said to kill some Israeli spies. And they feel like, look, America's got its hands full. We can flex our nuts and relax a little bit because they see Iran's the second most sanctioned country after Russia. Well, they're clearly going to join this China-Russia nexus. And Iran's got oil and gas. So they feel like they've got a stronger position because they do. And Saudi Arabia is hurting. You think, oh, they can just sell more. They're almost maxed out. And in Saudi Arabia, the public is like, you are not going this way. They hung up on Biden, right? They're not our friends. They never have been. They're willing to sell oil to a point. They look the other way. They don't care about Palestinians getting butchered, whatever. But they have a bunch of dollar reserves. And we're sitting there threatening that entire apparatus by saying, yeah, there's going to be a bipolar world now. And the majority of the planet, population-wise, is not going to use dollars. Well, that sucks, But I also think the Houthis have figured out we're not going to hit them. Remember when they threw that drone into Iran and they just shot it down, right? And the big one was when they hit an oil field in northern Saudi Arabia. And everyone thought Iran did that, and the Houthis got full credit. And I just kept my mouth shut because I'm like, well, I'm not going to help the other side, but it probably was Iran. But that's their threat. Like, if they want to take down the West, especially now, like when there's no oil from anywhere else, like they're totally dependent on the UAE and Saudi Arabia. If they were to cruise missile those northern oil fields in Saudi Arabia at the right moment, which is coming close, it would lock Europe and the US down because there wouldn't be any oil, and you can't get it from Russia. You can't get it from any of your other partners you've pissed off. You're not going to get it from Venezuela. You're not going to get it from Iran or Iraq. This is way worse than OPEC, right? So they're flexing, but yeah, you could be right. It could be like, hey, but I don't see how the U.S. could let Yemen hit Saudi Arabia. I mean, the Yemen is going to try to hit them whenever they can. They're just having more success now. It's not like the U.S. goes in and blocks it. I guess we did share our intelligence satellites with them or something. You could argue, maybe.
Oh, do you want some? Do you want a like fun fact from that recent strike at the oil refinery fuel depot thing?
Yes, please.
Oh, Patrick Smith, you got to turn off your speaker because you got to mute your mic when I'm speaking because we were getting double audio. But anyway, that hit right across the street from the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix where the Formula One drivers were driving. So the TV images from the race showed like a burning fuel depot in the background with like blacks. It hit as the qualifications were ongoing. So it hit in the middle of the race, basically.
Yeah, and Iran's like, you better take the Iran deal.
Yeah, but then all the
we'll blow up that.
Yeah, but all the Formula One driver had to be okay. I guess we weren't the target, but that was close.
Well, Israel has such a grip over the U.S. They're just not going to do an Iran deal. But Europe could make their own, and they're going to have to get it from somewhere. If they really don't, like, they're getting oil and gas right now from Russia, and they're paying in rubles, but that is on thin ice, right? Why not take an Iran deal?
Okay, so we got a second speaker here, Brett Gunner. If you got something to say, speak your piece.
Hey, I just wanted to say, I don't think you're that scary to talk to, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also wanted to say that, man, it is sweet to see. I'm kind of into the gun community, and I served in the army, so I got to see all these guys go over to Ukraine and as mercenaries, and I've seen them all go quiet since that barracks got hit. I just thought that was funny.
Well, another thing is these fucking idiots that were like tweeting where they were and stuff. They actually used their cell phones to find them, and that's how they got blown up. So yeah, turn off your fucking phone. This isn't a bot. This is Russia. They will triangulate and tag you. And just say you're an idiot to post is look at me in my uniform in Ukraine. Kapow. Fucking morons. I don't know. They gotta get that selfie, I guess. But it's just I don't know why they're there. Like we're gonna go kill some Russians. Really? It's your business? You fight for Ukraine? Okay. Nothing lower than a mercenary.
Yeah. So I've allowed Old Guard to speak his mind if he's got something to ask.
I agree. Fuck Lincoln.
Yeah. Old Guard, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, you're very low,
for
so
Ryan-
speak loudly.
Okay. For Ryan, what do you think the tie to Miramar with all this is? I know it's way out in the west, left field, but it seems like Miramar has something to do with a lot of what's going on, like it's behind the scenes, or has a tie to it.
Well, the ongoing conflicts with China and have been since the 70s. So I don't think that really ties to Ukraine in any way that I can see, but it's
Yeah,
go
because I think the CIA was fucking around there. Sorry.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. China likes that kind of controlled conflict because you got to realize they have their own MIC, and that justifies budgets. And yet, it's not really a threat to China at all. I still say Burma, but the other thing is keeping conflict in Indochina prevents Western states and Japan and others from moving their what I call dollar store good factories into places like Burma, because right now they're in China, and some are moving to Vietnam and other areas. Say like we don't need to use the Chinese to make these trinkets for our dollar stores. We can make these in Vietnam, or we can make these in Cambodia, or whatever. But not if there's ongoing conflict. They keep that there. But
I appreciate it. Like I
Myanmar
said,
is a rice basket. I mean, they're kind of like Ukraine too, in the way that so much food used to come out of there. But it's
Right.
mostly just MIC profits for China. It's something they can point to and go, well, we need these toys because of this. Kind of like Afghanistan used to be. That was controlled conflict.
Right. Okay. Like I said,
But if you see a tie to Ukraine,
it seems like we kicked it off.
The CIA likes to they want to control China. But I'm like, you can't. You know, they'll try.
Maybe if we pulls off and made them eunuchs, they could control China, but that's the last time anybody got something like that done.
You know, if they really wanted to fuck up China, they would just support the people in China. But they don't. They don't. They love it.
Well, they support
Gotta have a boogeyman.
They support people in Xinjiang, the East Turkmenistan Liberation Front, who are.
It's funny too how they're all like, "Ooh, the plight of the Uyghurs." Like, oh yeah, you don't. Come on, I can list 20 other things with problems worse than them. You don't give a shit about it. You don't give a fuck about Uyghurs. You just hate China.
Yeah, I don't understand why
they're a competitor.
Yeah, I don't understand why China has such a huge problem with white people acting black, but it's quite severe, the restrictions they have on the Uyghurs.
Alright,
That's my joke
gotta
about the
go.
Uyghurs.
I thought it was a good joke. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on mute for a second.
Okay.
You can hold the floor.
Yeah. So what do we got here? We can see the New York Times actually has a update from 2 hours ago stating that Zelensky is ready to discuss neutrality. And if he's ready to discuss it, then it seems like this was a whole. We could have kind of avoided all this if he would just been reasonable in his assessment of the situation and the Russians' willingness to use force. But it says here that President Volodymyr Zelensky. No. President Volodymyr Zelensky insisted that he would not cede sovereignty to Russia. Kind of too late for that, but okay. As the two sides prepared to meet in person for the first time in weeks. Large explosions were reported near Kiev early Monday. And, all right, we also got some reports. Oh, you're back? Oh.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, New York Times telling a little bit of the truth there. Although every time Zelensky said this, it's been a play fake and he didn't show up.
Yeah, I
But
did some.
a lot of these Nazis that he's scared of is like not in control anymore. They lost Mariupol pretty badly. But yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing is a waste in a way. You're like, why didn't you just do that 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, and so Ukraine is so dependent on Russia for their economy anyway that it's like it is actually unnatural, or that's probably the wrong word, but it's not in their interest to be aligned with Europe. Not in their economic interest, and they think that's going to end the corruption in their country and make it a fully functional state with respect for the law and functioning courts, and it's not going to happen. And that is also the reason why they can't join the European Union, because they would never, ever get their government and their courts verified or approved by the European Union, because it's too corrupt and it's too poor, and you can't get anything done in Ukraine because it's too corrupt. And yeah, and also the deal Yanukovych was presented by the European Union would have included a large. It would have included a lot of austerity being imposed on the Ukrainian nation, which I'm sure the Ukrainians would not approve of. And Russia gave him a better deal. But there was a coup. So here we are.
Very little info on that coup. I mean, I covered it. We had on Peter Lavelle, we had on Pepe Escobar, Scott Ricard, Corbett. I had on Kelly Vallos, Peter Van Buren, like pretty big names to talk. Hey, there's been a coup in Ukraine, and nothing, right? It was like the Hunter laptop, nothing to see here, right?
Well, yeah, but there was also like glorious pro-coup propaganda in the West. So they released a bunch of documentaries about the bravery of the demonstrators in the Maidan. So they're like the people that knew about the coup thought it was great because that's what the propaganda told them to think. So they sent like TV team or like documentary teams over there to just go and make a documentary about how glorious the coup was.
Yeah, okay, got it. Sorry, I'm almost off mute.
Yeah,
Sorry.
are we ending the stream, by the way?
No, I just had to make milk and give it to the baby, and then
Well,
she got up and down.
okay.
I don't know, just like yapping out. He'll sleep. Like if you get him quickly, he'll just and go to sleep again. It is a crucial minute or two, though.
Okay. Do you want to hear from other people in the audience?
Yeah, it looks like Gerald and Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you like the Simps and Hoes?
Simpson
rooms?
Hose is the new group where you can be explicitly racist. It is not Ryan is not an admin in that group. I am the owner and admin, but you can go there and anything that you want to post in Prime Chat, which is kind of a bit too raunchy, maybe a
Like,
little bit TOS
let-
breaking, you can put
let me
there.
I'll explain what I did. Wasn't the racism? It's just like I know there's some girls that love their orbiters or whatever, but you can't come in and talk about butt sex because first of all, if you're a girl on the internet, you know this. You can't go into any political chat or any chat about anything and say the sex word and not derail it all into 10 guys talking to you about sex. And even if you're like, oh, but I tried to end it, like you started it. You went into a room and you said, as a woman, and said da 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 sex. Watch what happens, right? It's like putting a sugar cube on an anthill. It just, you fucking know better. So, because I want that room mostly talking about, I'm not gonna be draconian about it, but I want it mostly talking about politics, right? Talk about Ukraine. You can talk about culture war. That's fine, but you can't talk about your personal crap of guys love anal or whatever, and that's what was happening. So I said, we'll just have simps and hoes, move that over there. But it's not only for needed attention and orbiters who are desperate and want a girl that will talk to them. It's also a place where you can freely tell as many racist jokes as you want and anything else you need to do. All your shit posting goes there. You don't have to be a simp or a hoe. You can just really need to shit post. I've shit posted in there too. That's where you get it all out in that room so that we can keep the other two channels safe from getting banned or shadow banned. And we lose a lot of subscribers when someone comes in to learn about Ukraine or Syria or what's going to happen to the economy and they see butt sex. Like I have some pretty serious people looking at the Telegram and I go in and that's what's all over the place. So I canned the girl that started it and then I created another room and said you can go in there and play. That's Simps and Hoes. Pretty wild shit in there. It's fun. I agree with shit posting. I got nothing against sex or any of that. Or, yeah, it's just, look, the channel's anti neocons. That's what it needs to stay, talking about those kind of topics. I understand people want to socialize. So, that's why there's a third channel for that, where you can say whatever the hell you want. The only rule we have, because this is an always rule, is Tanukana. And Tanukana means you cannot forward things from other groups unless the person talking is 5'9" or taller, which means Eric Stryker is out because he's 5'4" and 5'5" with the lifts. He doesn't get to speak. So if there any, as long as it's not from a manlet, there are no other rules.
Well, yes. The only other rule is don't.
Besides what's illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah,
do illegal shit. Yeah.
yeah. And
Don't. No death threats. Not even as a joke. No death threats. No child porn. No. Come on. We're not fucking Catholics.
Yeah, that should be obvious. And what the rule I made is use bad words, but you don't have to follow that rule. But if you do want to, you can.
I love the Pepe's driving the trucks instead of Z. It's like N, and the next one's I. Like goddamn. I understand this subculture is like I don't think anyone's actually racist. It's just like when you tell people you're not allowed to say X, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to say X, huh? X X X X X X." Like it makes you want to do it more where you would normally not even think about it. Like, oh, I'm not allowed to be sexist or racist or this or that. Well, I'm gonna triple down on all that shit. Not even sincerely. Just as they say, fuck you for telling me what I can and can't say. I get it.
Yes, but we
I
got
think that's what it is. too.
but we got speakers here, so enough about the group. Let's have Gerald say his piece.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Yeah, speaking of that, I was thinking that ever since the whole Ukraine shit happened, the chat was getting really annoying with like people repeating like the same shit all the time, and then
Yeah.
like just getting spammed with dumps of like the news and the regular
Yeah.
shit. But it was just so hard to follow. So I'm glad we came up with another chat for sure. And I don't like to snitch
Yeah,
on
it's,
people or tell them what to do, so it's like,
I get it too. Like, also, you'll get the same story posted like 6 times. Like, did you not
yeah, that's what I
scroll up?
just said, yeah.
Yeah. So, well,
But
I
anyways,
have, I've got a channel. I don't know if you know, there's another channel. Like, well, I guess it's this one. ANC Report just posts things one time. ANC
right,
Prime, where everyone's allowed to talk, is where you might get the same thing 5 or 6 times. But that's
exactly.
also the only way you can comment on the stories. And so we have 3 things. There's one that only Varg and I post on, which is news that will not be double posted. There's one that anybody can post on, but we'd still like it to be, news. And then there's just a shit posting place, which is brand new to socialize on, whatever. And you can
Yeah,
still
I didn't want to
socialize
join that
on Prime.
at first because it was
Yeah.
like perverted, but
Well,
Varg is feeling it
you
so
can,
much, I gotta join it.
yeah, you
Hey,
just have, you can
I got a
still
couple minutes before I
socialize on the
go.
other one. Hold on.
Can
You can still
can
socialize
I?
on Prime. Just don't
Right.
go, if you're a girl, don't talk about sex. All right, go ahead.
But Ryan, you mentioned not too long ago about you were interested in joining Cozy
Yeah, why shouldn't I? I mean, it seems like
because
it
yeah, I've
should
been
be a,
thinking that ever since Nick started like having other streamers on there, and I figured you had already just like decided you didn't want to go on that or something. So, but he's open to it
you
now,
know,
and you can see all these other obscure people. So he has said on stream
I
before that
I don't
if
have his contact.
yeah, I was gonna tell you that. He has said before that if you want to join, all you got to do is email him, and if he thinks you're like a good fit or relevant, he'll go from there. But I think it's Nick at
Um,
nicholasshayfuentes.com. But I think you'd be a great fit there, and I
I
think he'd
think
have you.
I think I'd automatically get in. He knows what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
for
I
sure.
just did.
Anyways, I
I
gotta go. I
am
got something to do. So.
pretty. All right, cool. I'm pretty
All right,
boomer,
thanks.
so if that's as easy as it is, I'll send him an email later tonight. Say, hey, it's me. Remember I had you on when you were banned? I'd like to join Cozy, even if I'm just restreaming shit there, whatever. It's different eyeballs,
Well,
and I like supporting all the alternative platforms.
yeah,
And I don't have to agree with all the people on there.
well, yeah, and Cozy has the killer feature where you can stream audio only, which is such a relief. Like,
Oh, that is nice. Yeah.
yeah,
If I joined, I would keep it to the more. I wouldn't do the ad lib stuff like we're doing now. Not that this is that bad. I would make the more serious things. I think I'm going to start going back on RT again too.
Cozy TV is now bigger than D Live, so there's that.
D Live killed themselves.
Yes, they.
D Live went woke, and now they're going broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was like
When they
you have to accurately assess the market and look at why are people using our service, and it's because you're not woke. That's why.
right. They didn't understand every influencer they had was just on there because they're not allowed on YouTube. Why the fuck would you join something if you can do YouTube? Why would you be on anything else? YouTube has way more people. Blah blah blah. They didn't get it. And I guess you could say, well, we have gamers. They're like, well, they're all on Twitch, right? Like, why would you go on any gaming stream site unless you're just not allowed on Twitch? You know what I mean? So they didn't understand your entire content creator crowd is all black sheep, and you're gonna start banning black sheep. You're gonna end up with nothing.
Yeah.
And they did. They banned Red Ice, I think. They banned Ethan Ralph. And a number of Vincent James and so on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and Nick Fuentes, I believe.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Which makes Cozy TV now having a larger audience quite delicious.
Yeah, it's not Nick's site either. It's some guy owns it. He's the flagship, I guess. But like,
yes,
it's funny too that Nick made fun of the Generation X cozy Groiper crowd. And now he is like the face of the Gen X cozy Groiper crowd, and he even calls it cozy TV. But like, he did not make Groipers. The Groipers have been around since Nick was in high school or middle school, but somehow he became the head of the Groipers, which really pisses off the old school Groipers because they had nothing to do with him.
Yeah,
I
but
could care less.
well, it's like I don't know. The origin of how fan groups label themselves, like all these creators have like I don't know. Owen Benjamin has the Bears, and other people have like other names for their fans, and it's a way to establish community and like give people an identity, but most creators don't decide what the name is going to be. That's just something the group kind of forces through. So they liked drawings of Groiper since it's similar to Pepe, and here we are.
I missed some of that because somebody called me, but I'm sure you did. You explained it all. We have our spinning squirrels and rainbow frogs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all ended up with mascots somehow. But I love the spinning squirrel because people are like, what the fuck is that? And it used to be, if you Googled spinning squirrel, it would go to that brand new YouTube video. But now it doesn't show up. Surprise. Right?
Yeah.
I thought about doing a QR code of the squirrel and the tornado. It just says, have you seen him? Sort of like the Search for Animal Chin thing. It's a skateboard movie. You know, you're a skater.
Yeah.
You had to watch Bones Brigade and Tony Hawk, and yeah. So
Yes. Well,
Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain.
That's a little
Name.
bit before my time, to be quite honest. I've seen
Well,
them later, but at the time I
Sure.
was a baby.
Okay, so you probably. All right. Well, you know what the McTwist is.
Yes.
That's Mike McGill. His
Yeah,
name
yeah, yeah.
So he's the first guy to do that. Probably Steve Caballero and Tony Hawk are the only ones that were still doing it when you were coming along. But Tony, you know, the fucking video game made him famous. But anyway, back in the 80s, this thing, Pal Peralta, was Stacy Peralta or Stacy Powell and somebody Peralta, whatever. They made this group for skaters. First time skate magazines and stuff. First time skating got money. They made a skateboard video. It was a very young, like 11 or 12 or something, like your old Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain, Steve Caballero, Guerrero, Tony Guerrero, Mike McGill, and who else? Fucking Rodney, obviously. And they did skate videos. And the first one was like Bones Brigade, Skate or Die. And the second one was Search for Animal Chin. It was fucking awesome, dude. They put 2 half pipes back to back and all this crazy stuff. And they were just going from skate park to skate park looking for this legendary skater named Animal Chin. And they never found him, but they just got to skate on all these cool locations. And because it's a video, you got what you call video tricks. Like I landed it once only, but you know, you cut out all the times they wiped out.
Oh yeah.
And so they just look fucking, sick, man. And Christian Hosoi and some others were in there.
Yeah. Tragic destiny of Christian Hosoi. But do you want to hear from Josh R?
No. Yes. No, fuck that guy. No, yeah, sure. We need a little stream.
Are
It's
you
like,
there,
are they from
Josh
the
R?
northeastern part of the U.S.? You're fine. Come on. You have to hit the button in the middle. Yes.
You can?
We can hear you. Speak.
You know, Sam Hyde doesn't like your name.
Why?
You got it, dude. Have you heard this part? Sam Hyde was on with Sam Tripoli, and he was like, I'll tell you what. just went off. Come up here like,
Your
if you have a gay ass
uh,
name like Josh.
Ryan, your audio
All right.
was fucked up through that. So what
I'm
did
sorry.
Sam Hyde say?
Okay. Sam Hyde was on with Sam Tripoli. Y'all have seen me on Sam Tripoli show sometimes. And he went off, he did this skit on deaf people. And he's saying, you fucking deaf people, they come up to you like, who, what the fuck? And like, well, none of them are going to hear this, I guess, so they won't be offended. But, and then he said, no, there's something about language, like how language develops your brain and stuff. And he went off onto the Italians and the French, and they're all arrogant because their language just sounds that way, whatever. And then he went on and he said, like, if you have some pussy ass name, like Josh, and all you hear is Josh, like you're gonna grow up and be a cunt, like Josh or Jacob or something. He said. Anyway, Sam Hyde doesn't like your name, but
That's all right.
he's
Sam's a
also
girl's name.
yeah, that's true. Samantha. Hey man, he's the ghosted Kev according to Adam Kinzinger.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I have
watched
two
that
good
interview.
friends
I didn't
named
see that,
no,
though.
3 good friends named Josh. So there you
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Both-
name. I mean, I know you're not a big Bible guy, but Joshua in the Bible is pretty sick. He's slaughtered a bunch of people for praying to lizards and stuff like that.
go. Yeah, well,
But I was saying
Jericho.
after a guy from a soap opera.
I know the Bible, I just don't believe in it because I'm not crazy. But yeah, pretty
So,
Chad in the Bible.
I was a little late to this, but I don't know if you talked about it or not. But I got a brother-in-law who's a pilot, pretty smart guy, and I asked him about that Chinese plane that went down, and he was saying that him and all of his pilot buddies were like, "Dude, come on, that thing doesn't just nosedive out of the sky for no reason." What do you think about it?
Well, I don't think it's for no reason. I think it was made in China.
No, it was a 747 though, wasn't it?
The maintenance in China.
Uh,
It is suspicious because when's the last time an economy of that size has had a plane just fall? You know, it wasn't even the
not
Malaysian
just
airline.
fall though, just straight up like beeline to the ground, nosedive.
Well-
and it lost a part. I don't know if that part it lost was like trying to like cover up for it or something. Maybe like to make it look like there was a reason that it fell.
The last time was the Asiana flight. If you remember
Yeah, that was a black hole, right?
no, that was
Yeah, according to Don Lemon, it could have been a black hole.
no, that was a different flight where he said that stupid thing.
Oh, that was the Malaysian one. Yeah.
Yeah, Asiana is the flight where the intern at the flight people maintenance office or whatever told the news that the names of the pilots were Wee Too Low, Holy Fook,
Oh,
and
dude, that was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it happens.
that's one of the
Sometimes
best.
planes.
Oh.
An Osprey just crashed in Norway, killing 4 American servicemen because they have to have that stupid plane that has no military use.
Don't get me going on that thing. What would the motive be other than to manipulate the markets, I guess? For
Make
commercial
Boeing look
airliners?
bad. I figured they wouldn't do that. I mean, I figured there's some on there.
It doesn't make
seems
it
like there's
won't
a rate
make
in China.
it won't make Boeing look bad. It just makes China look bad. It's like, oh, that's China. That's what everybody thinks, right? So what's the deal? I mean, plane crashes do happen. And how many are they have per day or whatever? But I know also I only have one other pilot friend, but they were like, that just doesn't. There had to be a mechanical issue or worse because you could at least. I mean, seldom do you just nosedive like that. At least put the
Yeah,
landing gear
Captain
down.
Atta, maybe.
Yeah. That is weird though, and it's horrible. But when I was growing up, that happened like once a month in the '80s. The planes just fell. We're new at it, you know, or got a hostage or whatever.
Yeah, well, in China
I don't know.
In China they even have high-speed rail crashes. So
Right.
Yeah, and then
Like
they rip
trains.
them up with an excavator, right, and bury them.
I mean, it's China, so that kind of shit does happen there. That's why I'm really worried about the self-driving cars. I'm like, you're gonna do that in China? Because I don't trust it at all. You know, like I don't trust that for a second.
Good test market.
Dude, self-driving cars in India will be a disaster.
Oh my god.
Drivers
Yeah,
in
be moped.
yeah, drivers in India will drive the wrong way on the highway to take a shortcut.
Well,
So
look,
instead of like going through the intersection, taking a left, going through the next available place to turn, and then going the other way, they just go the other way and then just make their way into the right lane after a while.
you see what happened to Saudi Arabia when they let women drive?
Can only imagine.
And then they were, well, yeah, the death rates went up, but like they, you know, they'd never been allowed to drive before. So think about when you're 16, you first start driving or whatever. Now imagine not having teenage reflexes and being like 30 something and trying to drive for the first time. And there's a little bit of mental aspect of driving. That's why people get road rage, right? So a lot, when it first happened, a lot of these women got really pissed at each other and were getting in like full-on burqa fist fights on the side of the road.
I
This
mean,
video
in
is on
Saudi,
video.
in Saudi, they're either driving like Lamborghinis or like a moped. And if you're on a moped with a burqa on, you might as well have a parachute on. You know?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. I didn't think about being on a motorcycle with that kind of get up. No, just in the cars though. Yeah, they got
No.
look up
They can't do them.
Saudi
I don't.
Saudi women road rage.
Yeah, just they can't be on a moped because they have to have a male guardian with them.
Sidecar.
Yeah, the guys were just laughing and filming the fist fights with their cell phones. They're just like, that bitch. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, sounds like a Walmart parking lot in a black neighborhood.
Right. You can see that. Yeah, except the car might be stolen.
Yeah.
Thinking
Stole
Walmartians.
groceries and everything else. You see that they like raided that store in Florida, the Walmart. It was like a flash mob smash and grab thing.
No.
Oh, dude, it was a bad
In
one.
Florida?
It was like 40 people. I'm surprised DeSantis didn't say nothing about it, or not that I saw.
That might escalate it because if they get a little bit of fame, he'll do it again.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem like someone that's gonna mince words. You know, he's gonna say we're gonna get all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think they're stupid enough to post this shit on their own Facebooks and then end up getting arrested. So like,
Dude, they're not even wearing masks. You can wear a freaking mask around now, and they don't even do that. I mean, if there's ever a time to wear one,
right?
you know.
Like, hey, this ain't San Francisco. You're not just allowed to steal $950.
Yeah, this is Florida. You can be murdered if you do that. They can just shoot you, I feel like, once you leave the Walmart.
Dude, did you see Fear of the Florida Man video?
Say that again.
There's a video. It's in the Simpson hose. It's called Fear of the Florida Man.
Oh, no.
Okay, they're driving like 20 something miles an hour, and a guy naked, no shoes, is just hauling ass and catches their car. And it's at night, so when they put the camera on him, he's got these two glowing red eyes, you know, from the infrared or whatever. So he looks like some sort of demon. This dude just hauling ass naked after the car with these glowing red eyes like a Shinigami or something.
That's Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
The
give him
real
the pennant
Ghost Rider.
stare. Right, give him the pennant stare. The car's all laughing until he catches them. I'm like, screaming, fuck. You know? Looks like an animal.
Yeah. They don't understand how motorcycles work, apparently.
They're just, this dude's naked. He's trucking. He catches their car. God damn it. Lost
Aerodynamic.
Well, you can run like 20, 23 miles an hour for a few seconds. You know.
Yeah, not everybody.
You can with meth.
Yeah, even the fattest Floridian on meth, I don't know if they're running 23 miles an hour.
I hate the fact that hotels now have like you have to use your key to ride the elevator. Gay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're in there in the middle of the night, it ain't the worst thing though. You know that there's not some maniac in there.
Well,
I get it.
yeah, but it's
You should need
Japan.
it.
There's not going to be a maniac. It's
Oh
Japan.
yeah, okay, yeah. You're
Like it's.
Alright.
well,
You know,
Mongolians walking
We
around,
got
you know.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. So like we've got Mongolian tourists. We have to lock the doors now.
Do they all like ride horseback around there? Was that little girl on a horse when she stole those toys?
I guarantee she has a horse. What kind of 7-year-old yanks a ball away from a 1-year-old?
All right, I'm muting you, Josh R. But have a good day.
All right, take it easy, boys.
See ya.
Horse. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm out. So.
Okay, we're down. We're done.
Yep.
We
I
went
bought some
for
beer and
2 hours and 36 minutes.
that's good. We talked about almost nothing, but
Dude.
yeah. Anyway, war crimes.
Yeah,
on
we
film.
we talked about a lot actually.
Yeah.
But
I mean, on Ukraine.
oh well, not that much on Ukraine, but it's live from Okinawa is the title of the stream, so we stayed on
True that.
topic. So
I'll have a proper video that I'll just film.
yeah, just
But it's not live.
yeah, just film it because like I don't know, I've never seen good video from like Telegram. Or actually, I don't know. We can think about that later. But everyone have a good day.
See you then.